legislation to provide more resources to our immigrants if they're in the criminal justice system, as well as in the civil removal, deportation, immigration process. So providing resources, support, love, inclusion, welcoming is who we are and what we're about. And I didn't want to miss being here personally to meet with all of you, to say welcome neighbors, welcome friends, welcome Oaklanders, and welcome Californians. Thanks for being here. I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you so much for coming on. Another hand, love, inclusion. Those are our values here today. That's what we're here today. Jennifer, we're going to invite some of our organizations that made this event happen today, as well as to reflect on the current moment we have now.
This is truly a mixed crowd, not just communities from all ends of the world, but we have our key legislators here with us today, organizations, our community members, and the chambers united. And I would like to give some time for the organizations who are major sponsors for this event today. We have International Rescue Committee, we have African Advocacy Network, and we have Center for Empowering Refugees and Immigrants, and Mission Asset Fund. And here we have Hisham representing IRS.
Hi everyone, good afternoon, and assalamu alaikum. My name is Hisham Zabil, and I am the head of the International Rescue Committee in the East Bay. We are also part of the East Bay Refugee Forum, a coalition of over 20 organizations whose mission is to make this city a welcoming place for refugees. I see around me dozens of individuals that my agency has resettled, and we will continue to resettle refugees from all over the world because these are our values and these are the American values that we stand for. Firstly, I wanted to give a 30-second or a minute of silence for the latest two victims of the rhetoric that we're hearing from Washington, D.C. Srinivas and Alok were murdered in Kansas because of where they were from, and what they looked like. So join me in holding a minute of silence for their souls. Thank you. I also wanted to acknowledge that the rhetoric that we're hearing from different elected officials is not just rhetoric, but this actually has an effect on people's lives. There was a mosque that was fire burned in Tampa recently this past week. This is a place of sanctuary for community. What I also want to say is that the story of the executive order and banning individuals from coming into our country, or providing sanctuary for those that are fleeing war and persecution, is one story. But what I see around me here is a different story. This is a story of welcome. It's a story of different individuals and families coming from all over the world, sharing a meal, and looking to start a new life for themselves and their families in Oakland. I see around me Syrian individuals that our agency resettled who only wanted a better life for themselves and their children. And it is with that spirit that I will continue to do my work, and I will continue to work with partners and allies in this community to keep Oakland and to keep the Bay Area and to keep the United States a welcoming and beautiful place to bring individuals in from all over the world. We will stay a welcoming community, and we will stay welcoming refugees from everywhere. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite Seri, Center for Empowering Refugees and Immigrants.
because more than 200 survivors of the Cambodian genocide who have lost their family members and have lived in refugee camps for a number of years and suffered there as well, ended up in Oakland and were forgotten for 15 to 20 years. So we've been working together in the past 10 years. I think there has been a lot of healing happening, but I think what has been most important is that they have a place where they can talk about their lives, about their traumas, about their accomplishments, about their children, and the support that this community gave to each other with love and with authenticity made a huge difference in the lives of our clients. I just wanted to say that our clients, when they first came, they really had a hard time with just sleeping, they had nightmares, flashbacks, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, all of that. But now that they're really better, they want to help other communities, other refugee communities. So when our clients heard that this is happening, they all wanted to come and just welcome the new refugees. They want to know the refugees, and I think it would be great if we have a center where all refugees from different countries can be together, can get help together, and can really relate to each other and see how close they are and how their lives are saved. So I am so grateful to our community, to our women and men who have given me more than I had ever expected. I'm from Iran. I'm an immigrant, and I think I felt finally belonging to this country after I left Cambodians, after World War II. So anyway, thank you so much.
For your powerful words of welcome. I'd like to invite Guru from the African Advocacy Network. Thank you so much.
My name is Jobo, and I'm an immigrant from the Ivory Coast of Cote d'Ivoire in West Africa. And my presence here, I think, is a testimony reminding people that migrants are from all races, all sources, all cultures, all religions, and speak all kinds of languages. So this very ethnic group of people that have come to America for a new life sometimes does not always understand what's going on. And as I keep telling my fellow African immigrants, we're not alone. Sometimes we feel like giving up. But at the same time, when we look around, we see some people who don't even know what a green card looks like. Yet they are there on the street, on the roads with us. So if sometimes out of despair we want to give up, we need to look around and look at all those people who shouldn't care, but who do care about us, and keep struggling, keep fighting to overcome the fear which has been crippling our communities lately. African immigrants are certainly one of the fastest growing communities. For our history, we used to go to Europe because most African countries were colonized by European countries. I speak French, it was much easier for me to go to France and not have to learn another language. But here I am today, and I have to start learning English. And like many other groups of immigrants, we're in the same situation. So we have a lot to do. For instance, speaking particularly about African immigrants, we need to reach with other communities of Africans, of immigrants. We need to reach with our community of African American brothers and sisters. And we need to reach with the entire American society at large. So this is a lot of work. And that's why I'm here to say we would like to count on each and all of you, because migration is part of human nature. Migration is part of human history. It's nothing new what is happening today. And even the language that we're hearing is nothing new. At every step in human history, people have acted the same way. When there are issues to go against the weakest ones, to go against the orphan, to go against the widow, and then picking at when the solution is there. But thank God, there are always some other people there to remind them that no, these people are not the issue, but we are all of us one. We are all of us human beings. And I would like to thank the organizers for calling us together and reminding us that fear is not the solution, but we need to stand up. And please allow us to count on you, those who don't have any issue with immigration, to support us. And just sometimes with a few words, can help. Thank you again to everybody.
Thank you so much for the words of support. I want to invite Mohan, permission to speak. Assalamualaikum, buenas tardes, New Ho. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mohan Tunango and I'm the Director of Programs and Engagement with Mission Asset Fund. We're a 501c3 nonprofit based in the Mission District of San Francisco. Historically, we worked with a large Latino demographic in the mission, but we've had some more recent migrants that have kicked us out. They're called techies. We're here today because the experiences of immigrants, as we've heard, are not unique. These are challenges that we all face, that we have to come together to feel a sense of solidarity, support, and really empowerment to be able to achieve our goals. And what Mission Asset Fund is able to do specifically is help people with a lot of the financial needs that come up. So we're able to report people's activity payments through a social loan called Lending Circles. And that is really powerful so that people can apply for things like citizenship, so that typical financial barriers are no longer there. And we want to make sure that folks know about our program, Lending Circles, that can help you save for an emergency, while also building credit or to pay for specific things like citizenship or deferred action for our undocumented youth. So my colleagues, Samita and Diana, if you can raise your hands. We have some flyers. We have flyers in both Arabic, Chinese, English. Again, this is a zero-interest social loan program that we want to make sure the community is aware of. And lastly, I'll just say, living here in Oakland, Chinatown, being a property owner, and loving the diversity that's here in the Bay, know that we're not immune to hate crimes, to bias-related incidents. Just last week, I was walking home and I saw graffiti at the Chinese Welcome Center, racist graffiti targeting both Asian Americans, Indians, Chinese folks. So we need to stand up, and what we do here is going to be a model for the rest of the country. So don't feel isolated at the same time, because we have this community here today. But what we're doing is going to be uplifting to all the immigrant and refugee communities around the country and really around the world. Thank you. Thank you, Mohan. Resource for us all. I wanted to, let's see. Okay, right now we're going to transition into our last round of discussion. So let's give it up for all of the speakers. We all share the same themes, right? Missing home, long journeys, how to be welcoming, how do we become a welcoming community for other people who have shared the same journey. It's the same journey of sacrifice, being separated from our country, being separated from our families. So this next round of discussions is, I'm gonna invite the table ambassadors, maybe a different table ambassador now, if you spoke before. So we're going to go into discussion of what does being welcoming look like for you? How can we support you in your community? So any thoughts or examples, that you would see helpful in your community? Let's just share out and hear each other for the next 15 minutes, and then we're gonna have a special announcement from our host. Is that all right? Okay. Thank you, everyone, and we have our facilitators. Let's raise our hand. We have some floating facilitators right here. If you need help to understand the questions or instructions, so just feel free to flag us to help guide the discussion. Thank you very much.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Now's the time to look over, and hear about what kind of support do your communities need. And we're going to have a different ambassador this time to represent the
things are actually very direct in terms of support that we can all be providing. Another one is that whenever there are any kind of demonstrations or any kind of protests or any kind of organizations that are taking place, that we recognize the very real diversity of the issue or the communities that we identify as refugee and immigrants, so that it's not simply a foregrounding of one community. So by emphasizing this diversity, we are able to then be able to unite in a much more coherent way. And then the third one, and one that I think is really significant, is that when we start speaking of who we're welcoming into this, into our communities, that we move away from the good immigrants and the bad immigrants, or the good refugee and the bad refugee. I think that kind of which makes it very hard for us to fight against the bigotry that then paints refugees or immigrants as communities that. That's it. Thank you.
Solidarity across communities. I think the narrative of what is a good and bad immigrant, being inclusive of all immigrants. I see a hand from Lily over here.
So welcome everybody. Our table came up with a bunch of really ideas. So first one was to create a refugee center. A place now where people from all different nationalities and countries can come together and gain access to resources. So one of our table mates, she cooks Syrian food. So she's looking for the social capital to build a business where she can sell her food in the market and have access to a license to be able to sell food. Another idea we had that was very important was the notion that we should become citizens of the United States. Becoming citizens, you have access to vote, and having voting power, you can elect who represents you. That could be something else that you see within the refugee center. Again, to support livelihoods. So having the money to build a business and paying your rent, having the social, political capital to participate in the democratic system, and a community space where people can come together and share their ideas and stories and never feel alone.
Thanks. I want to sign up. One of the cooking classes, definitely, it's a spirit that people want to contribute for communities. You know, whether that's in the economy or politically, those are very powerful. We probably have enough time for 3 more tables to share. Is anyone else? There in the back, yes.
Hi, everybody. My name is Luncheon. I have a share video. Tôi có sofa, quần áo cũ, nam nữ, rồi giày dép, đồ dùng ở trong nhà bếp. Không biết là hội này có cần hay không, nếu cần thì sẽ sẵn.
At home, I have furniture, old clothes for men and women, old flippers, like kitchen supplies, kitchen supplies, and for stuff for immediate